5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It helps if I actually transition to the right screen after putting my voice on where everyone can hear it. Hey, everybody! Welcome to WebDM Show. My name is Grant Ellis, and I'm playing with some of my favoriteest people in the whole world. We've got Kikas, we've got Chords, we've got Bursts of Hopes, and we've got Burling's Beards. We're playing a game by a friend of the show and a designer friend, Lucian Khan's upcoming Kickstarter, Visigoths versus Molgoths. And I know that Ken's play tested it before everyone else. It's our first time. But what I really appreciate is Lucian, as a designer, put together a set of rules that are very easy to read. It might seem like a lot of pages at first, but it goes very quickly, very smoothly, and has a lot of cultural touchstones that are very important to me in my life. And let's make some magic happen. So before we get into the game, let's go around and introduce each other, and then we're going to talk about the pre-game checklist and make sure that we're ready to rock and roll. So why don't we start with the magnificent Kika. Hi, Kika. Well, I hope we get to see you again. It's not a PAX without Kika anymore. It's kind of the rule. You have to be there. It already is. Support Kika. Go ahead and drop or send any of your links if you have any Ko-Fis or Patrons or any ways people can donate. Kika was muted for you. Gasp. Yes, here's why. Kika, introduce yourself again. No, you'll work. You need to talk to. Okay. Yeah, they should be able to hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. It's just you were like jittery and it was crazy. Anyway, hi, I'm Kika. I basically show up on other people's streams and play games a lot, and also I run inclusivity panels at PAXs, and I pitched a couple of PAX Unplugged, so again, I hope to see you all there.
Thank you, our audience, for catching it. Wouldn't be a stream with me at the helm if we didn't have a technical difficulty, but I made sure that Kika exists and is audible. Because this game is a lot harder to play when you have to discern what Kika's saying, and you can only read her lips.
Yeah, also, I say a lot.
You emote a lot. Also joining us tonight, I haven't played with Cleric of Cord in a minute, but we played on Scraticus Academy about a year ago now in a one-shot. Yep. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to play with you again. Anytime I get a chance to play with you, it's like, yes, we get the opportunity, because a great game is always a good game. And I've seen things on Twitter about this and heard bits and pieces, and really intrigued me. So here I am. I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. That's where you can find me on Twitter. I won't put a link up, but it's all in my profile. I've got a pinned tweet that tells you where I'm playing and when and what I'm doing. Next big thing I've got coming up is we're doing an Aliens one-shot on Encounter Roleplay on Friday, and a meat grinder on Saturday. Really looking forward to that.
Always a blast. Also joining us, longtime friend who I've done informational programming with. I've done a lot of story-based games. I've done coaching sessions to teach people how to play RPGs. Ken Beard, hey, or Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. How's it going, Ken?
I'm great, Grant. How are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and checking this out. This game is awesome and amazing. I'm so thankful that we get this chance to try it out together and go through this experience. I'm Ken at Burling's Beard. I'm an event organizer and DM for hire in the New York City area. Please definitely check out my latest show at wildrance.com. We're doing that every Tuesday night. You can come by and definitely play some games, which is a lot of fun. I'm excited to explore the mall and I'm really excited to see Grant as the mall rat and meet everyone else's characters. I also will be checking out PAX Unplugged, so if you're around and doing games on demand or looking for something to play, definitely hit me up because I'll be running games all weekend.
It's always a blast. Always good to see you at conventions as well. I still wear my vote pin anytime I'm out in public. Got that. That was a classic. I want to say that was like an Eisenhower era pin, something like that.
Pen. That was cool.
Classic. So, before we dive right into the game, I'd like to thank our sponsors, of which there's none for this show. We're doing it out of the love of our hearts. So now that we've got that out of the way, I have a couple notes here, and I want to make sure that I read the right notes. So the next thing I want to do is I want us to go through the new game checklist. So this is a new game of Goths versus Visigoths. I love games that come with checklists that help you prep and get ready. Oh, I forgot Jess! All right, confession. I had planned that. No, I didn't plan that. So I'm a bit blind on my left side, and Jess's cam's actually on my left side. So, hi, Jess. How are you?
What's up, Grant? How are you? I'm good. I'm just chilling. I was gonna passively aggressively just poke you later. It's okay.
Passive aggressive poking.
I will make this nice and quick. Hey, I'm Jess. I go by she, her, or they, them pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Burst of Hope. I play games a lot like Kika in other people's channels, and I want to play as many games with as many people as possible, and I'm super stoked to be a goth of some sort.
One of my favorite episodes of Gamers and Grant to the State was when Jess was on there rocking and rolling with me. Speaking truth. We weren't sipping tea. We were telling all of our digital crushes and just letting the world know.
It's so true.
That's how we started the stream. We're like, all right, top 5 digital crushes. Let's go. Best way to do it. So now we can get to the pregame checklist. I'll be at PAX Unplugged as well, and I have a Kickstarter starting next month, but that's not what tonight's about. This game kickstarts next month as well. You should back it. And I will know whether you back it or not. So, new game checklist. If we were playing in person, we'd have some printouts, but we have some copies of the mall maps. We're using a Roll20 tonight. I've added a clock. As we finish scenes, we'll check off marks of the clock, because the mall always closes at 10. We have copies of the game rules that we have sent and given to the players, and we're all going to read those together, aloud as a group. It's important that we summarize the setting, and I'm going to do that quickly and paraphrase the intro. So long ago, the Visigoths sacked Rome in search of a homeland, but just last year, a careless suburban mall goth with a Ouija board evoked an entire community of Visigoths into 1996 from the distant past. At first, the Visigoths were confused by the modern world, but they adapted quickly and soon began setting up their own stores in the mall. Their ultimate goal? To conquer the entire mall and maybe one day Los Angeles itself. The Visigoths have never forgiven the mall goths for uprooting them, and the mall goths have never forgiven the Visigoths for trying to push them out of the mall. This means war! Alright. So right about now, we're going to make sure that we read the game rules aloud as a group. So, does everyone have a copy to the document? It's labeled playtest document, but there's a section in it called game rules. Does everyone have that open in Google Docs? If not, I will drop a link in our private backstage chat. I've got to be careful because my Google phone just heard me say the word Google. Shut up, you! No!
Okay, Google. Don't listen to me anymore.
I like how they saw my pure rage. For a second, it's like, don't you dare phone. In fact, get out of here. Oof. Yeah, phone went flying. So as soon as we have this playtest doc open, we'll read the game rules. I will go ahead and read scenes. Kika, if you can read things to do in a store. Do you have a name you prefer, Cleric of Cord, while we're on the stream?
I answered a cat. I answered a cleric.
Cat.
I answered a cleric of cord. I answered a hey, you, her, she. You,
Hey,
you know, yeah. Hey, you. I had to say that a lot.
I do as well. Kat, if you would read the rolling dice section, Ken, the hurt feelings, and then Jess, the embarrassing traits. So scenes, each day is broken up into 6 time slots. Each team of Goths plays out a scene in 1 store per time slot. Team members must stay together as a group for store visits, because teens in this mall only shop with their friends. The Visigoths and Malgoths may be together in the same store or 2 different stores. Take it away, Kika.
Things to do in stores. Talk to your team about plans or strategies. Talk to store clerks to get information. Go shopping or shoplift. Debate about music, fashion, religion, or other cultural matters. Fight. Talk about feelings and heal them. Flirt, ask people on dates, or make out.
And Kat, go ahead and take the rolling dice session.
Rolling dice, which is usually everybody's favorite part. Sometimes, most of the time, favorite part of the game. I love rolling dice. It supports my habit. Players roll dice to resolve conflicts. If there is no conflict, there is no need to roll dice. Didn't think there's going to be lots of conflict. There are no simple skill checks to perform difficult actions. You only roll off against another player, a mall rat controlled character, or the mall itself. That is not ominous in any way. Always roll 2 6-sided dice. Add any relevant modifiers from your character sheet or stuff to your roll, and whoever has the highest number succeeds and the other fails. On a tie, both players succeed and the situation escalates ridiculously or dramatically.
Hurt feelings. Most games only track physical damage, but this game only tracks emotional damage. When your physical attack against an opponent is successful, you and your opponent both experience hurt feelings. Write a word describing how you feels in the hurt feelings section of your character sheet. If your character sheet contains 2 or more hurt feelings, you are emotionally overwhelmed and can't continue physically fighting or using embarrassing traits until you talk about your feelings with a friend. Each character can only heal and erase a total of 1 hurt feeling from their character sheet per scene.
Oh, snaps. Embarrassing traits. Let's see. Embarrass yourself to help your friends seem cool in comparison. Things I do on a daily basis. If you do something to draw attention to your embarrassing trait, you may offer another player a +3 bonus to their roll. But you must add embarrassed to your hurt feelings. You may announce this before or after your friend rolls, but you must announce it before the mall rat describes the narrative result. You must have an empty slot available in your hurt feelings to use an embarrassing trait.
All right. And next on our list, now that we've talked about the rules as a group and how we will resolve conflicts, the full rules, or at least the playtest doc, also have some good examples of when these rules come into play, particularly around the dice, but we also have a player that has played. Let's... I know we've all looked at characters in advance, and then let's flesh out those characters. So who here is playing a Visigoth? By show of hands. Kika and Jess. Kika, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character to us as far as you've created them so far?
Well, my character is the Visigoth rune caster. I just decided to go with the standard female name of Gelvira, using she, her pronouns, because that's just easiest for me. She is still glowing from time travel because its magic effects tend to linger about her. She has a few runecaster powers, which she can use to make something invisible, levitate something, or stun something. Also, she can, once per day, without rolling, carve runic graffiti on a store wall, and no one will be able to see her shoplifting from that store. And she wears gold jewelry and a cape, and is a Germanic polytheist. I haven't quite gotten to the relationships part.
We'll
Thought I
do.
should wait till we got to know each other first.
Yeah, we'll go around and everyone will introduce what they have so far, or finish up now, and then we'll get into relationships. We'll go back. And if everyone who's playing on our side could put your character's name, it's okay if you rename yourself in Zoom, but also just type it into the Zoom group chat, just in case people want to reference it to their character sheet quickly. And Jess, introduce us to your character.
Me, a Visigoth is what I'm playing, and if I scroll down, I chose to be a charlatan. Garcendus is their name. They, them are their pronouns, and I didn't choose much, except the question, are you still going from time travel, was very intriguing, so I said maybe a little. And do you want me to list the charlatan powers?
You don't have to list them all. You can go through quickly. Are there any other questions that you need to answer and you'd like to answer now?
Goth style. I shall wear a colorful tunic and a bone and sinew hoodie, and my religion shall be Germanic polytheist as well. Other than that, no. I'm very much play off the people, so I want to see what kind of Molgoths we've got going on here.
Let's see what Molgoths. I mean, that's what I used to say when I'd go to the malls in the 90s. I'd be like, what kind of Molgoths we got around here? And then, like, I'd start walking around with my boombox playing Dead Can Dance, and I'd be like, the carnival is over, and like they're like,
you
get out.
Absolutely did not.
I 100% did.
Oh my goodness.
And they flocked to you, Grant. They flocked to you. Like,
they flocked right past me. They were like, listen here, rollerblader. All right. So then we have two Molgoths. Kat, why don't you introduce us to your Molgoth first?
Okay, well, I am playing Hecate, or she goes by Kate because her parents named her Catherine, and it satisfies everybody. It's just a lot easier that way. She, her, had some fun with her stuff. She has witchcraft powers. She is a witch, but she is also an atheist. She believes that we all have magic inside us, that the universe in of itself is magic, and if we can pull into that, then we can all do magic. And let's see, her goth style is romantic. She's got a few powers that I think are going to be a lot of fun, and I did give her a crystal wand because what's a witch without a crystal wand?
Nice.
Brilliant. And any other questions that you need to answer before we get to the relationships? We'll do Ken's and then we can circle back around to relationships.
No, I think I pretty much got her taken care of. I'm just looking for the relationship.
All right, and Mr. Ken.
Awesome. So I love all these characters. My character is the Molgoth tech, like the theater tech. So his name is Tiger Fiasco. Him. He has his goth styles like goth punk. He has hair that's sort of like in 3 different mohawks. That's like dyed orange, and the sort of short part of his hair is dyed black, like jet black. He sort of is having the stripe effect. He has like this torn like metal band T-shirt that he wears. He's got lots of spiked belts on, and he has like leather pants and like these motorcycle boots. He is a Wiccan by trade, or rather by background, and he's like totally into like sort of being the leader of like special effects for theater productions. So he has like a lot of sort of experience in that realm. And if we're doing sort of like background things, I have one here that someone is mad at me because I accidentally set fire to something of theirs. And I'm trying to maybe figure out who that could be. It might have, I don't know, maybe something to do like with the rest of your bone and sinew hoodie or something like that, Garcindus. Since like you don't have a hoodie, you just have the hood of it, I guess.
I'm totally about that. You
All right.
ruined my cloak.
Yeah.
Well, this brings up another character creation and rules point that I'd like us to make note of. No one gets away from it. The embarrassing trait options. Garcindus, I would like you to assign Tiger Fiasco a Molgoth embarrassing trait option. Now, at the bottom of this character sheet shenanigans, or creating character shenanigans, I have pasted a list of Molgoth embarrassing trait options. And I'd like you to assign one from this list. It also comes with some guides on maybe how it could be roleplayed to Mr. Tiger Fiasco. Ken has an option as a player to veto this and accept 2 embarrassing traits from the list. So this would be page 14, all the way at the bottom, on character sheets. If you'd like me to paste the link in our private chat, I can do that as well for quick access.
Yeah,
and everyone might pull it up.
I might have. Well, I copied the document just so I could write on the character sheet. So, let me use this quick link, y'all. Yeah. All the way down at the bottom, and we are looking for a suitable embarrassing trait for my not friend Tiger Fiasco.
Burn.
But I do respect that name. It is quite foreign to me. Okay, Molgoth embarrassing trait options. I can't give you a bad taste in music if you're a tech theater kid.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I propose you have a crackling voice.
Okay.
Cracking voice.
That's what I choose for
Okay. Yep. All right. I can take cracking voice.
you. Excellent. Living out my Scooby-Doo dreams here.
Now, Kat, what embarrassing trait would you like to assign Garcindus? Hecate.
All right, let's see.
And so there's also...
These are all hilarious, by the way.
Yes, they are.
You might even, for the audience, start read some of them out loud, just because they're really quite good.
Oh no! I think this is going to be so. Some of these embarrassing trait options include allergic to metal, a bad dancer, but I think this one is going to be good. You wish you were Roman, and speak in Pig Latin.
Wait, I wish I was Roman and speak Pig Latin? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. For the sake of stream, I might not speak in Pig Latin the entire time, but I would definitely keep that up.
It'll it bay.
Ixnay on the
Yeah.
Germanic.
Gosh.
Oh, no.
This won't get old at all. Now, Gelvira, you, did I get it? Is it Gelvira or Gelvira?
Elvira.
Gelvira. Could you assign a embarrassing Molgoth option to Hecate, Kat's character?
Overprotective parents.
Yeah.
I love it.
good.
That totally fits. Yeah. Her parents were the ones sitting outside at mall closing with the station wagon.
Just refusing to come out.
Just blocking traffic. We'll move when my daughter gets in this car.
Mom, you don't understand. If I leave the mall, we'll lose it to the Goths.
You are the Goths. The other ones! All right. Tiger Fiasco, I'd like you to assign an embarrassing trait option to Gelvira.
All right, I think Golvira has been dumped by a famous lover, perhaps the child of the chief of the Molgoths.
Oh, snaps.
Are you muted, Kika?
The chief of the Molgoths?
Their child dumped you.
Trouble.
So, well-known...
The chief's child.
The Visigoths are in Molgoth. I think that's where the confusion was.
Visigoths. The Visigoths
Okay.
chief child.
Yeah, you said Molgoths, and
I apologize. I apologize.
You're already taking our culture. You don't have a chief.
Yeah, I guess the Molgoths probably have like the coolest Molgoth, which would probably be, I don't know, like king or queen of the Molgoths. I don't know. How do you describe that? But they probably exist.
They would be the executive Goth.
Executive Goth. That's pretty good.
Tellison? No. Why he ducking us? No. Met him a few times. Super nice chap. All right. So now that we have figured out our embarrassing traits and complicated our inner table dynamics, now we get to discuss the relationships on our character sheets. So we have a few of them. So we get to choose two of these. And now that we know a little bit more about each other, a little bit more about our embarrassing traits, how we look, etc., Kika, why don't you give us two of Gelvira's relationships?
Two of Gelvira's. Once, when I was invisible, I saw Tiger Fiasco in the middle of secretly trying on prep clothes.
Ooh, brutal.
It was for a show.
Maybe. Who knows?
it was like The Outsiders or something. He was a soch. All right. And did you have a second relationship? You get to pick two.
Can I think about this for a moment?
Yes, we'll come back around to you. So,
Thank you.
So, Kat, why don't you describe one of your starting relationships, or give us both?
All right. Well, the first one is the Visigoth I most resent is Gelvira, because of their magic and their rune magic. It's a magic she doesn't know, doesn't have access to, and she would like that. Or she resents that she has that pure, older magic in the runes.
And do you have a second relationship?
Yeah. They have a crush on Garcendis, and it weirds them out because of the pig Latin thing.
Oh man, I'm ripper and ready to go if you allow that, Grant.
Now remember, it's your embarrassing trait, and when you use your embarrassing trait ability mechanically, that's when it might kick in. But,
yeah, legit. Okay, so because Hecate did this to me, I was contemplating, and now I'm curious. I propose that I gave a long religious lecture to Hecate.
Ooh.
And then there's a second blank there. And as a result, cop-out is that you got a crush on me because I just spoke a lot of words to you. But, like, I spoke a lot about several gods. So, as you said, you were atheist? Okay. Yeah. As a result, you don't... I maybe kind of brainstorm some feedback on that. I'm not sure about the result part. But second tag is my crush on Tiger Fiasco weirds me out because none of their outfits make sense, and the electronics are just baffling to me.
What baffled me about Tiger Fiasco was when we had these like Marvel Comics collectible cards, the hologram ones. I was like, how does it do that?
Oh, the hologram ones are
Throwback.
so important to get. Those were like the most special cards.
Don't iron them. It ruins the hologram.
No, never. You got to put them in a plastic sleeve.
You ironed your card?
I used to iron every comic book page carefully to make sure it was crisp perfect, because these things get graded. Yeah. You got to put a sheet above it, but you iron the hologram and it melts, and you're like, no! Sorry.
That's a thing you did.
Throwback.
Yes. All right. And speaking of Tiger Fiasco, what you got for your relationships?
So we already talked about how Garcendus was mad at me because I accidentally sent fire to their bone and sinew hoodie. But I think I have a crush on Hecate, and that weirds me out because each time I get near her, weird shit starts happening with her crystal wand.
Whew. All right. And now, Gelvira, as played by Kika, do you have your second relationship?
My crush on Hecate weirds me out because I don't understand why she's mean to me. And also, my character also still has feelings for the famous lover that she was dumped by. So she's just a big old mess right now.
I know that life. Now, I want to point out to our audience as well that we circulated an anonymous safety survey prior to the game. We use things similar to lines and veils. We talk about things that are out of bounds and off camera. I'm going to put, so everyone can see it, right on the center of our roll 20, assuming I click on the right window. Above the clock, I'm going to put a letter X. I'm going to make it nice and big. If at any point we need to play the X card, you can throw an X in our private chat. You can make an X with your hands. You might need to call it out, politely so we can hear it. The guidelines on this are pretty explicit too, because we might be using a name that has particular meaning to us, like, I start naming off every crush that has ever dumped me or broke my heart. It's like, don't use Andrea, Andy, Andrea. Sorry, there was a string there, and they were like, I think he has a type. I think it's names that start with the letter A and have an Andrea type name after it. But
I had a similar thing where almost every single person I've dated has a name that starts with the letter J.
Oh my goodness. David's. Just a whole string of Davids.
But you can ping on the X. You can throw an X in chat. We're all friends here, and we all want to be safe. We definitely want to be respectful while we play. If something comes up and we need to play the X card on it, by all means, feel comfortable to do that. I've, Marcy Vellin, who's a friend of mine, we were in a game at PAX East, and we were just playing a game, and there was just a story direction we didn't feel like going in just because we didn't feel like playing that kind of game. And we exited to remove it from the game just to help focus the narrative. So this game, also, we're kind of using what we call the PG-13 guideline as far as situations that we present, as well as I ask everyone to adhere to our the results of the safety survey that I circulated in our private chat as well, about things that are out of bounds as well as off camera. Now, I'd like to read the framework for the adventure. So, let us begin. That voice is actually the AD&D 2nd edition First Quest CD voice, known to insiders as Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
You gotta warn a person, Grant.
I know. All right, so this adventure is called Goat to Hell. So here's some things everyone can know. A black and red tile statue of a goat has disappeared from the demonic bed and bath store Hail Satin. The statue is the size of a human head, and the tilework looks like a bathroom floor. The owners of Hail Satin are offering $200 in exchange for the statue's return. You may try to find the goat in your two separate teams, work together, or pretend to work together. Also, there will be a flirty skee-ball social in the Darkade in the early afternoon. The winner of the skee-ball competition will win 30 minutes in the kissing room with 1 to 3 guests. Now, the kissing room is just a circle of beanbag chairs in the back of the arcade. There's a lava lamp and a blacklight illuminated rug in the middle that says kissing. Everyone can easily see into it. Now, I've set up some secret information that not everyone knows. I, as a mall rat. I think I got some mall rat glasses I can put on. Let's see. Are y'all ready? All right. Hey!
Yeah, Bad Boy returns.
Yes, little heart-shaped lenses. We got this. So, we're going to set up our first scene, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we just kind of get a pick who wants to go first where. And, we're early, and we're in the beginning of the day. This is still fairly early on in the game, so this is the morning. And then one of our groups of Goths will get to go first. And I think I'd like to see, I'd like the mall Goths to tell me which store they start in. Now, I'm going to zoom out for the audience at home just so they can see. There is a beautiful map that is going to continue to be refined as the game gets developed. But there's this cool mall with... Oh, let me... I have to peer with my eyes. Ugh. Willikers. Here, let me adjust this on the screen for y'all, just so you can see it a little more clearly. Yeah. Haha! Yes. So, there is... Let me zoom in as well. I'm just really bad at this. Thank you, Roll20. Yeah, there's this 14-store mall. There's one that Kickstarter backers are going to fill out. And each of these stores are filled with very, very... well-defined non-player characters that come from a variety of cultures and subcultures. They're really cool, and I really like the inclusivity of the game, and everyone has their own quirks, mannerisms, and personal identity. But why don't the mall Goths tell me where they'd like to set the first scene?
Where do you think, Hecate? Where would you like the first scene to take place?
Tiger, if you call me that in public, I'll kill you. It's cake.
Oh, sorry. You were chatting that last night in the chat room, so I thought that was the new thing. Well, what do you think? Do you want to go by Hail Satin?
Well, it was a ritual thing, but yeah, Yeah, we could do Hail Satin. Or don't you have some stuff you have to pick up at for the
Big disc energy, definitely. Yes, I always have something
yes.
to pick up there.
Yeah, because you guys
I'm
got
sure.
you guys are doing a musical this year, right?
I mean, so many. I'm hoping we're doing like 5 musicals. Yeah, Big Disc Energy has some orders that I sort of were waiting on, so we can definitely check that out. But I really want to get this $200. I mean, come on. Maybe we want to go by Hale
Yeah.
Satin and find out what happened there. Maybe they know something about who took it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go by there first.
All right, so that's where you'll be. Now, Visigoths, what store would you like to go to first?
That's a good question. What you feeling?
Totally random.
It's under construction.
Oh,
It's a board. There's a security guard. He has a he actually has. He's like one of those strong fat guys, kind of like me. You know, he's got like these weird sumo abs in the front. No, it's true. Like people see me, they go, "I didn't realize Grant weighs 255 pounds," and it's like, well, yeah, you know, used to be an athlete, but I still eat a lot and I don't exercise a lot. But yeah, he's just one of these guys. He's got this like, you know, one of those hard bowling ball guts, and you know, he's got a, a nose with constantly flared nostrils, and he kind of whistles when he talks like Gopher from Winnie the Pooh. So now
That was
it's under construction.
back when I was living in New York. I knew a guy kind of like that. He was a big guy, and he would spar with his martial arts friends, and he would just like pick them up and throw them.
That's how he
Valid.
started jujitsu. It
Valid
was just like, I don't need to go to the ground. And I want you to know that my fist is infused with wisdom. And when I hit you, you're gonna learn. Sorry, I got this whole rant. It's the last thing that goes. Yeah,
I want to interact with this character.
I know, right?
you can. If you hang out talking in the passageways, it doesn't take time. But he lets you know it's under construction, and he'd love to stay and chat. But I've got to get back to my patrols.
So scary. So in control. What say we take a stroll down to up to the upper floor? I'm feeling like a smoothie. What about you?
Lemon
I still have-
Theodosius.
Yeah.
I still have not tried one, so that is acceptable to me.
Oh, they're clean and delicious. You feeling citrus? We knew citrus.
But how do you mean clean?
They're just like crushed up ice and flavors of like sweetness and fruit. It's amazing.
So they are much like snow infused with the essence of food.
Brilliant. Yes, exactly that. It's so hard to find words about these things.
I must try it.
Come with me.
All right.
Go.
Let's jump to
Escalators.
Hail Satin first. So this is a demonic bed and bath store. There's black terry cloth curtains in front of it. If I had to describe the odor, it would be as if a large cinnamon candle is burning, mixed with a hint of brimstone. There's some music playing in the background. It's nothing that the popular kids would listen to. It's very much kind of like it's like a funeral dirge. They're mourning because their demonic goat statue has gone missing. And there is a Japanese girl who is very excited to meet you both. And there's also a boy in the back who looks like he seems to be running inventory on the velvet sheets. There seems to be a dark burgundy colored sheets that he is. He has. He kind of. If I had to describe him, he looks like Prince in his prime. I mean, this is like there's an energy coming from this fella, and he's he kind of gives off this very charismatic aura. He's at the perfect angle to check out. And so there's a Japanese girl. She's wearing a black velvet corset. Her heels are adorable. And she's very excited to see you. And he's like, hello, welcome to Hill Satin. We're in mourning. Chipper. And so we begin our scene. Hi,
Just
Kate.
real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
I take it the one that looks like Princess Hemlock.
Yes.
Okay. Kate is just like, she walks in and she's like, yeah. And she's just kind of is admiring the view. She's going to find some place, lean up against the wall, and just admire the view, and then try not to think about how creepy it is about people who buy velvet sheets having goat statues watching them use the velvet sheets.
I greet the girl back. Do we know her name?
Nocturne.
Of course. And I say, hey, Turney, how are you? It's so good to see you. You look great in your work uniform.
Oh my gosh. And thank you so much. It's new. It's new, she says, and she's beaming. I realized very quickly that Nocturne's going to turn into my friend's older sister, Dora, who she was great. She worked at a mall, and she was Japanese. But yeah, she's like, it's new. I'm all about it, and I'm so excited. And I have two others. But my
Two other
goodness,
corsets? That's great.
yeah.
I'm all about corsets, but I'm also all about making some extra money. We heard about your missing statue. That's a bummer.
It's a total bummer. It's the worst bummer. And you know what another bummer is?
So many, actually, when I think about it.
Volfi at Lemon Theodusius.
What about him?
Well, she's been getting hair in the smoothies.
What?
Totally disgusting. It's very, 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 very lame. I nearly
love those
died,
smoothies.
she
I
says.
love those smoothies. Yeah, I mean, hair in your smoothie, that would definitely kill you.
It's horrible. So what plays are going on this year? She kind of says, and she touches her hair while looking at Kate.
Well, we've got Kiss Me Kate. We've got God's Country. We're going to have The Wall. We're also thinking about doing 12th Night. Then I'm hoping that we're going to do this experimental one that The Cure just put out. Very excited about that. Hoping to also do Blue Sunday. We have a lot planned for this season's.
When are you going to do the Crucible? She says, kind of with like a pout, and she's like, Winona Ryder was perfect in the adaptation.
Well, I guess when you come out and audition finally, gorgeous.
Quick time out is, I love how Ken gives this great list of all this theater, and then I make like a Winona Ryder reference. Not that happened to me in high school. Hemlock in the back, he kind of comes up. He's like, Nocturne, have you seen the? Oh, hi, Kate. He says, sees you.
Hey, so I heard your goat went missing.
And that's when Nocturne ties in. So someone really got his goat. Then kind of like snickers at her own joke. Sorry, it was a good one.
Yeah, well,
Didn't land. And that's kind of what she says. It's like, all right.
at least he didn't faint.
Yeah, Hemlock's like, yeah, we're offering 200 bones. If we can get that goat back.
Can buy so many satin sheets, so many.
Velvet.
We have
Perfect.
satin too, but we got
so many
it.
discs, so many smoothies.
So, where was the goat?
Well, it was right there in the front where everyone could see it, plain sight. It was beautiful. Yay big.
Is that
And
where,
You don't have any videos or anything like that?
Well, we got cameras, but they're not connected to anything. Same as our fire sprinklers. They're there just for
That
inspection
tracks.
purposes.
I was going to say, that tracks. It's a 90s mall.
Yes. No. So, who do you think in this mall would have taken our goat? I think it was another clerk.
It's probably a Visigoth.
Have you talked to the Catholics next door?
We tried, but once you start talking to them, they don't stop talking. Oh, wait, that's not the Catholics. That's the Mormons. I'm sorry.
Well, I get a headache from the incense in there. I mean, I don't know what they're putting in their myrrh, but God.
I think the good stuff.
Yeah. So, like, where was the last place it was? Show me where it was. And she's going to pull out her crystal wand, like she's kind of trying to feel the energies in here.
All right. So as you pull out the crystal wand, it starts behaving very strangely as Tiger Fiasco is nearby. Tiger, why don't you describe the strangeness about it?
I mean, the crystal wand is, as Kat is showing us, it's sort of a bit squatter and thicker. It's sort of gnarled in parts. And as she is sort of presenting it, it's definitely sort of pulsating with this energy. It feels warm in her hand. And I think that it is sort of like it's causing like many of the sheets in this place to sort of like ruffle, almost like if there were poltergeists or like different sort of energies sort of just sort of blowing around this area, almost like a localized windstorm or something.
Ooh. Now, how do you respond to this, Kate?
She's looking at it, and she kind of out of the corner of her eye, she looks at Tiger, and she goes, "Huh. I might have to come back later. I'm gonna need some salt."
Tiger Tiger puts out his hand to Nocturne and says, "Quick, let's jump behind the counter."
Yeah, she kind of shyly takes your hand, but she really wants to make sure that Kate sees she's taking your hand, and she's trying to read for maybe a little bit of jealousy. But you get she doesn't want you to be jealous of her. She wants you to be jealous of him because she's got a little crush on you.
Yeah, I think Kate is she's glaring at the two of them. She's actually glaring at Tiger, but it might look like she's glaring at Nocturne because the crystal only messes up when tigers are too close. And she's like, "Yeah, good idea. Go behind the counter." And she's going to take Hemlock's hand. She goes, "I'm going to need you to help me channel some purer energy."
You notice Hemlock's like holding like the packages of both velvet and satin sheets, and just like drops them and takes your hand like blatantly, and and Nocturne throws herself and Tiger over the counter. And they take the other side. You notice when Hemlock takes your hand and Tiger crosses to the other side, your wand like drops to the ground like a brick. It's like Thor's hammer. It's just down there.
Oh,
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, it's heavy.
yeah.
Did that land anybody?
That's,
No.
nah. She's gonna look from him to her wand, pick it up, check it, make sure there are no cracks, there's no flaws that have been in it, and I think I'm trying to decide if she wants to use one of her skills at the moment.
Well, go ahead and read the skill out loud, and let's talk about it.
Okay. One of them is detect lies. Another one is persuade. And I think she kind of wants to use detect lies with Hemlock as to whether or not what he's been telling her about what happens and the goat is true or not.
Okay, so this is going to be you rolling 2 dice against me rolling 2 dice, because Hemlock most certainly doesn't want you to know. Do you get any bonuses to this?
I do. This is my 1+3 skill. You get +2 to your skills, except for one that you choose. You get a +3 to. This is the one I chose to give my +3.
Brilliant. So we're going to roll 2 dice. Hemlock is a straight roll. You got a 6 and roll 20.
8.
All right. So you succeed. So you succeed in the conflict. Now, Ken, refresh my memory. This wasn't a physical fight, but this was a conflict. So after a conflict, is it every conflict or just a fight? The hurt feelings.
It's just a fight. It's just
Okay.
a fight.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want your feelings to be hurt. Though it might hurt a little that Hemlock knows more than he is letting on to. And he kind of holds your hand, and he looks at you. Describe your eyes as he sees them.
Her eyes, she's looking into him like she's trying to, looking into his soul through his eyes. She's looking deep, and they go wide, and they go wide. And then she brings up her other hand to his cheek, and I want to use persuade. Tell me everything you know. She whispers just that far from his lips.
You don't need to roll because you already succeeded, and he just kind of swallows, and then he's kind of like Chunk from the Goonies, and he's just like, "Okay, I'll talk. When I was 8, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee when I was Moses in my Hebrew school play," and he just starts like letting it all out. He goes, "Okay, there was a thaumaturgy seance of a bunch of clerks. It happened, and then the goat may have been involved, and it went moving, and I wasn't supposed to see it, and they told me not to tell, and I didn't want to tell, and
Slower. That last bit again.
There was a seance, and there were 7 clerks from 7 different stores.
Who were the clerks?
And that's when he moves your finger again and puts his lips like an inch away from your lips, and he goes, "That might require a little more persuading."
She lets go of his hand and grabs his hip, where the fingers kind of dig into the muscle.
What's your intention behind this? Because I want there to be a roll, and I kind of want him to lose, and then you tell me what happened.
Oh, this is definitely a persuasion.
Okay. So, roll 2d6. And do you have any positive modifiers?
Yep, I have a +2 to this.
Add those to it.
The power of Hecate compels you.
It most definitely does. I got an 8. You got a 9. All right. So let's sort of narrate the outcome. To describe how your success looks. How did you successfully persuade him?
The fingers kind of she's put her hands on his hip. The fingers kind of dig into the muscle a little bit, and then she just boops the tip of his nose. Tell me the name of a clerk.
All right. I'll tell you the name of the clerks. It was Trevor from Big Disc Energy. It was Fritz Fang from Dracula Video. It was Bitter Herb from Gerbil Essences. Wolfie from Lemon Theodosius. Gaybar from Bears. The security guard that hangs out in front of Totally Random. And he leans really close and he points to the counter. It was Nocturne. Is there anything else you guys want to do in this scene before we move to the next one?
Each name is rewarded with a kiss on the nose.
Ha!
Just a little.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
And then she releases his hip and backs away, picks up her crystal and goes, "Oh, I'm feeling hungry. Tiger, you want to get some breakfast? Are you done back there?"
I am trying to promise a Nocturne that I can create amazing costume corsets for her, but that I need some of the satin and silk that is in the store.
That's great. We exchanged that for money. How much do you have?
How much do I think these things cost?
I think you can get a good size for about $3.
Yeah, I'll totally do that. I will fork over $3 to get a. How much satin do you think? A bolt of satin, or just a yard or 2 yards?
See, the thing is, it's not a fabric store; it's bed and bath. So you're going to be buying curtains and blankets and sheets and stuff.
Awesome.
She says, you know what? Yeah, it's 2-for-1 sale.
Awesome. I'll say 2 satin sheets.
And she says, I'll stop by. You want the king size sheets? That's right.
Exactly it.
Gives you twin size. Hey! I paid for kings.
I want the queen size sheets. Yeah, I want to ask her which sheets she thinks are the best, and which feel the best against one's like hands and skin.
She goes, they don't sell that here. But you have to go. Behold, the ultimate vinyl, and there's like these horrible like rubber sheets, rubber latex, sparkly, shiny. They're like a glittery purple sheet. And they're like a rubber sheet, reflects every light in the room. They're squeaky, they're noisy. They're like something you would use to make a pool toy out of, you know.
I am floored as I'm like, oh my god, they're so beautiful, and I want to buy those for sure.
$30.
$30.
That's already using my employee discount.
What if maybe we can figure out some other way that you can take the price down.
She points to the top of the counter. She goes, Kate's number.
And I nod and I say, I get it. And I get up and try and find Kate.
As you look up, you see Kate kissing Hemlock on the nose as he's rattling off names. It's kind of a bizarre sight.
I am not surprised.
Yes. And then, is there anything else you want to do in the store for this scene, or do we want to cut over to the Visigoths?
Probably cut over.
All right. So I'm going to advance the clock, and I'm going to show the chat that we've ticked the clock forward. This the game has about 12. We'll see how many we get through tonight. and we're gonna move to our next scene. This next morning scene. You were headed to Lemon Theodosius, correct?
Heck yeah.
All right. So over at Lemon Theodosius is the clerk, the Visigoth clerk. Now, Visigoth smoothies are not as popular as the Roman competition. However, this smoothie place, they like you both, and you are well known by the clerk who works here, Wolfie. And not only is Wolfie very beloved by the Visigoths, in particular, Wolfie is very fond of Gelvira, because Wolfie is a very well respected runecaster.
Oh.
Yes. So Wolfie's there. And let's start the scene. So it smells very clean over here. Wolfie has the entire place spotless because it wouldn't be a Visigoth establishment if everything wasn't done perfectly. Or at least better than the Malgoths. Our standards are higher. So, set the scene. How do you approach? There is a long, stringy-haired girl wearing a tunic. She's got wooden bracelets. They're carved with all sorts of symbols that Gelvira can actually read. And what do you do?
I rib Gelvira in the side. I'm like, hey, you see Wolfie over there? He makes the good smoothies. She makes the good smoothies.
Oh, okay. So I ask what sort of food I want them to be like?
No, you gotta ask. You gotta get those recommendations from Wolfie. I can't tell you what you would like.
But Wolfie doesn't know what I look like.
She has like a sense. It's weird.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, I understand. So, Gelvira just walks up to Wolfie and just stands and stares at Wolfie and waits.
As soon as you stare, Hootie and the Blowfish starts like blasting over the speakers, and it's just kind of like Wolfie goes, "Can you believe this is the 5th greatest selling album of all time?" Which is like my one random Hootie and the Blowfish fact. I remember when that happened. I was like, strange. And Wolfie's speaking in a traditional Gothic tongue. You know, it's not English or Common or anything like that.
Yeah. Gelvira just says, I don't understand it. You'd think something older would have sold more, just by virtue of it being around longer.
I have my own feeling. I think what it is the newer people, they are just buying more copies, and they buy more copies to smash the old ways and the old record, and it is very typical of Malgoths to do nothing but throw money into the toilet bowls and then to lap it out like the dogs they are. And you can tell, like, she's beginning to get, like, flustered and full of rage thinking about the Malgoths. She's like, I just wish they would leave the mall.
Surely it's not that bad. Right?
We both stare.
I mean, I know they don't worship the right gods, but I've tried really hard to assimilate. Not that I want to be a part of it, but
there's a way we can settle this. We can let the gods decide. And she like draws like a broadsword. Sorry, I was watching that Heroes Quest video. Broadsword and
Broadsword.
Broadsword. Fire of wrath. Yeah, it draws the broadsword and
Put
goes.
A tiny door in the doorway.
Yeah. Draws a broadsword, and she goes, let the gods decide. She wants to fight you.
surely No, we don't need to fight. I honestly came to recommend a smoothie for my good friend Kelvira, because you make the best smoothies.
So you're saying the gods are false?
No, I love the gods. Gods
Which
are
one's
not-
your favorite? She says and puts her hands on her hips.
All
I too
of
would
them.
like to know.
Absolutely all of them.
Oh, so you're a fickle worshiper, are you?
I just want to do a timeout just because I have literally lived this conversation like 9 times. I'm like, I just love pretty much everyone. Oh, I see. Kika's like, so you're a fickle or something. All right. So, all right. So, fickle worshiper.
The elements, they're all important. If I had to pick one, I would pick the realm of water. Very important to travel the waters. We are water. We need water. But I don't want biases.
She flings a courtesy cup of water at your face and tries to sploosh you. This is going to be a conflict roll, but her feelings are going to be hurt afterwards.
So let's see.
2d6 if you have anything that you think. Yeah.
I don't think so, but I'll double check. Yeah. Oof. 5. 5 it is.
Old Wolfie. My name is Grant Ellis, and I have 933 tabs open. All right.
That's a move.
Oh, no. So, yeah, the water lands on your face, and you notice it wasn't just water. It was like cleaning water. There was a rag in it, and, it's just kind of like dingy, and, there's a little bit of mud, and then, like, Wolfie's, kind of like shouts out in tears and just goes, I just love all those Visigoths so much, and now you've made me soil your perfect face, your perfectly formed, wonderful face.
You know what? No. This is one thing Morgoths do right that we Visigoths don't. We are not in tune with our emotions. You hid emotions from me, and now I'm all dirty.
All right, so let's add a hurt feeling to our hurt feelings list. So I may not have provided you with some suggestions, but I can definitely post those a place where you can get them fast. So something that we might have with this is just something a negative. Somebody's getting married. So you
Is
might
Wolfie
be feeling,
hurt or am I hurt? Both. Of us are
everyone's hurt. So that's the thing about this. So when there's a fight, everyone's feelings are hurt.
Am I hurt too?
You might be in a
want to
second.
be hurt?
Yeah. Do you really want to hurt me? So you might be feeling. I'm trying to think of the proper word that I'm thinking. You might feel rejected by the Visigoth. You might feel misunderstood by the Visigoth. These are the people. You might be disappointed that Wolfie would throw a cup of dirty water on you.
I came for a clean smoothie and got dirty water in my face, of course.
She's still charging you for it, and she's like ringing up a tab.
That's fine.
10 cents.
Yes. Yeah. Flings a rusty dime somewhere found off the ground. Okay, so resolving the hurt. Now I just minus something mechanically, or do I need to
Yeah, you add it to your sheet, and the thing is, once you fill up with hurt feelings, there's certain things you can't do mechanically until you talk about your feelings.
Ew, gross.
It's like, no, we have private discords for that and fake names.
Yeah. Oh. At least you get it out there.
Complain about the Visigoths not talking about their feelings, and then immediately when it's suggested, ew, gross.
Yep, that's my brand.
Yeah, and we can talk about this. So let's go back. So this is part of the game rule. So most games only track physical damage, but this game tracks emotional damage. When your physical attack against an opponent is successful, you and your opponent both experience hurt feelings. Write a word describing how your character feels in the hurt feelings section of your character sheet. If your character sheet contains 2 or more hurt feelings, you are emotionally overwhelmed and can't continue physically fighting or use embarrassing traits until you talk about your feelings with a friend. Each character can only heal and erase a total of 1 hurt feeling from their character sheet per scene.
Word. Thank you for that clarification, because I sometimes don't read as good as I should.
I don't either.
I'm curious how Gelvire reacts to Garsendis having dirty water flung at their face.
Elvira is feeling very conflicted because obviously her faith is very important to her, and her friend seemed kind of wishy-washy on the whole subject, but also she thinks that maybe it might have been a misunderstanding and would like to get a better idea of how Garsendis feels about faith in general, but doesn't think right now in this situation while someone is throwing water at another Visigoth is the proper venue, and she just wanted to put something tasty in her mouth.
Look,
Great.
and you convey all of this with a look, because that's what you do in the 90s. Just read it on my live journal. Not in 1996. But, yeah, so, okay. And then Wolfie, turns to Gelvira and goes, "What would you like to order?"
I was told you would know.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I was told you would know.
Ooh. Well. And she makes you a strawberry alley cat. Which is a girl drink from a Kids in the Hall sketch, but it's essentially it's this big beautiful smoothie, and she asks if Garsendis would like one.
At this point, anything except cleaning water would be palatable, and I would appreciate it not being thrown in my face.
Then you only get cleaning water, and she gets ready to throw another at you.
Can I make? Can I reach over the counter and grab her wrist, just gently be like,
"Yeah, you can go full Jess on her." Yeah,
it's okay.
Right, go for it. This is gonna be a roll.
Oh Lord, have mercy. 9. Come on, that's not bad.
All right, so she got a 10 again.
Okay, wait, pause. Would chase be applicable here?
Here's what I'd say. In this situation, you get a positive modifier because you're more on your guard, and this is like a cheap hack move to keep throwing the water. She's literally going back to the well again and again to do this. So I would let you add your bonus here because I feel it's applicable.
Hell yeah. Well, then I beat the 10. It's a +3 for chase and flee. +2 for persuade.
Yeah, or this would even be I'd consider an aggressive persuasion tactic. So, really? Yeah, you would come up. So describe your triumph to me. And this isn't quite a fight yet.
That's fine. I hop up onto the counter because I'm not the tallest, and I lean over. And I'm just like, I don't think you want to do that. Just casually grab the wrist and be like, no, it's okay. Just let me stay here. There doesn't need to be fighting. Just smoothies.
There's a lot of things I don't want to do, but I do them anyways. She kind of says, and she looks back, and there is a black goat-shaped bag carefully tied at the top behind the counter. Is there anything anyone else wants to do in this scene? Do we want to advance the clock and set some new scenes?
Can you make a goat smoothie?
You want to make a goat smoothie? Did you just ask?
I would
It's
like
made
to
out
have a
of
goat
grapes and
smoothie.
oats.
No, I want goat.
We don't do the carnivorous smoothie here.
Why not?
Uh,
Is your magic not strong enough?
One, I don't do magic for amateurs. Two, you are up and coming. But where did you develop such sass and a mouth such as that? Listen here, youngin'. You go over, learn a few spells, then you come back.
Well, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, I suppose I just got all of my recognition from my previous courtship, and I am not welcome within any of the Visigoths whatsoever, and I shall take my leave and be done of you forever.
Yeah.
Slowly sliding off the counter.
I just wanted goat.
Milk?
All right.
Goat milk, right?
Yep. This is how it's going to work. She goes, kind of looks at her hand being grabbed, kind of looks at you. She's starting to feel a little nervous because she's outnumbered by you two Visigoths parading around the mall. And she goes, all right, the goat smoothie. And she goes down under the counter. She comes up, and there's a still bleeding goat's leg. And she pulls from behind the counter. She goes, but don't tell my boss. And I want you to make a persuasion check.
Ah.
Okay, since I kind of invoked a embarrassing trait, does that do anything?
Ooh.
I think other people do that for you, but let's double check. Ken, do you have a ruling on this? Let's double check the embarrassing traits guideline if needed. So, embarrassing traits. Embarrass yourself to help your friend seem cool in comparison. If you do something,
okay.
you may offer another player.
Okay. Well, then I guess we're just rolling it out. Because all my stuff has to do with magic. 10.
Ay.
Nice.
Ay.
4. You succeed.
Nice.
She's like slowly starts skinning the goat's leg, slowly starts blending. Her eyes like never leaving Garcindus and never leaving you. Her eyes have split, so one is on Gilvira, one is on Garcindus.
Galvira's eyes never leave that leg.
she serves
Why are you showing off?
massive goat smoothie. It's thick, it's chunky, but it's magically delicious.
I love it.
And Galvira is just drinking both at the same time.
So good.
I mean, it's not a good mouthfeel, but it's a
No, this is wonderful. I'm very
great
pleased.
taste. It's
You
something.
do very good work here. I'm very honored to have you here.
Well,
Yeah.
you both honor me with your presence. I'm sorry we started. It's just been a very emotional. What are you pouting about? You telegraphed something.
No, just, you know.
Did the gods move through you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which one?
Right through the water that was thrown in my face.
Are you still dwelling on the past?
No, I've let
Think
it
about
go as
the
I prayed to the
future.
gods.
Think about the future, she says, and there's a smoothie in a black cup. It's a dark fruit that she slides over to you. Now, do you want to drink the smoothie now or save it for a later scene?
I grabbed the smoothie.
Oh, are you
And
going to throw it on her?
No, I put
I'm
a
down to my
to-go
level.
lid on it.
She watches your hands.
No, lies. I take the smoothie. I also take a to-go lid. And I make the gesture to throw it at her. And I clasp the to-go lid on it. Thank you.
She flinches. I'm not going to make you roll for that. And she just goes, ooh. Be careful with that.
I appreciate it. I will save it. And savor it.
The gods have tested us in strange ways as of late. I think it is understandable that we are all feeling challenged, but I believe we can all rise to that challenge, yes?
Let us pray together. Lead us. And she turns to Garcindus. With that, I think we're good enough to cut from the scene. I'm not going to make you give the prayer. All right, so then our clocks advance. And now I think we're going to play another set of scenes and then go to our epilogue. So, Goths, where would you like to set the next scene?
Any ideas?
Well,
But we might have a little bit more time.
I think real quick, as they were in a hallway, just to kind of pause time, Kate would fill Tiger in on what she learned from Hemlock.
Oh, shit.
And she's all about the whole, they're messing with things that they don't understand when you start calling on the darker energies of the universe.
Well, we know that the guy who runs Big Disc Energy, Trevor, is a part of this. We could go there. You heard that this person whose hair is getting in the smoothies, Wolvie,
Yeah.
we go to her place.
Yeah, I think Wolfie's problem is that wolf pelt that she wears.
Maybe that's it. I'm up for going anywhere. I am kind of hungry. I mean, it is like past lunchtime, but
Yeah,
I don't want hair in my smoothie.
Well, you said you had to go buy Big Disc Energy anyways.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's like that place is kind of weird, but they got good new import stuff in there that I totally love. And for me, I'm like trying to sort of like, find something that maybe we both like.
Why don't you let's go check out Trevor, see what he knows, and then we can go straight up from there to the maybe get something to eat or get a smoothie there from Wolfie's.
I mean, I really don't want to get wolf in my smoothie. Like that's
true.
Sounds gross.
But
the internet cafe probably has something we could eat or drink. And I love going to Floppy Joe's.
All right, you want to go Floppy Joe's?
Sure.
Maybe we can listen in next to if we like hang out at the front. You know how they've got the little tables there?
Sure.
And we can hang out there and kind of maybe get some crosstalk and see what they're doing there.
Floppy Joe's Cyber Chili.
Yeah. Doesn't it strike you odd that there was a group of both Visigoths and our gang hanging out there together doing this seance?
It's weird that Mallfolk and Visigoths were mixing to cast this, but my beliefs say that rituals are the things that matter, not the people who are casting them. So it seems likely to me that something is going on. Exactly. You know all about that stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you just gotta open yourself up to the energies of the world. So
that's what I think too. Yeah, and then let it flow through you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well.
Let's head on over there. See what we can find out.
All right.
To confirm, was that Floppy Joe's?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. And then we'll wait till Jess comes back to choose where the Visigoths go.
Well, we're
And
like outside of Floppy Joe's to spy on the Visigoths at the smoothie place.
they very much could be. They're in the passageway right now. So you're looking. So I'll go ahead and describe Floppy Joe's Saber Chili Cafe. So this place smells delightful. It smells like home. All the best snacks are served here. A handsome man runs the place. Older fellow, white hair, thick glasses. He is well acquainted with the information superhighway, as we like to call it. He's known for having the record of the most email addresses. His free services, nobody can trace it. Want to go through the back door when you're hacking heavy metal, he says, quoting the movie Hackers. And as you come in, he's like, my goodness, the children. And, it just kind of sees. Floppy Joe's is there. Now, you catch, as you look at Floppy Joe's, he sees you all, and actually, no, he's very Noah's Arcade is from Wayne's World. Twin Galaxies, that's the name of the arcade in real life. I know this is a cyber cafe, and there's a darkade in there. He's a little bit more like the video game referee from Twin Galaxies. So he kind of gives off this almost like college professor vibe, where it's like, well, young persons coming to Floppy Joe's. I am Joseph. These are my floppies. And you see he has an array. There's a variety of floppy disks on the wall.
I was going to say, is the place like wallpapered with the AOL CDs that everybody got in the mail?
All of
Y'all
them.
were too young for that. Okay. So it's like got that shiny reflective.
Yeah. In there, it's reflecting with all these CDs. He sees you. He goes, "Oh, you're Henry's friend, aren't you?" And kind of looks down at Kate.
Depends on what you mean by friend.
Can you go over to Hale Satin and let him know to be home before the streetlights come on? And I'm not talking about the streetlights that come on as the sun goes down. I'm talking about the one that has the defective wiring. It usually doesn't flick on till about 11:30 at night.
Yeah, I'll make sure he gets home before it gets too dark.
Well, Mr. Joe, handsome Joe, Mr. Joe.
I do. I've been told I look like the artist, formerly known as Prince. I hope he works it out with that record company. They owe him a lot of money.
They do, and we're trying to make some money too. But we are trying to figure out what kind of ritual might have been cast using a goat head and the magic of the past and the future together. Do you think the internet could tell us that?
Oof. The internet can tell you everything, children.
I mean, the internet is its own kind of magic.
Have your parents sign the waivers?
I'm like forging a signature. Yes.
Absolutely.
Company policy. Yes, my child is allowed. A new Pentium 3 processor. Sorry.
Have you heard about that one that's named after a fruit?
Here's a whole 400 megahertz.
Nobody will ever need
The Apple company. You will never need to go faster on the information superhighway. As we fly in our new acrylic bubbles. The future. Sorry, I'll go deep. Yes. So you're signing, but you're gonna have to get it past him. So you're gonna have to roll. And just so you know, he is quite skilled and adept at catching people in these sort of acts.
I have 2 dice in my hands. I'm rolling them.
I have persuade as a skill.
I have a 9.
Persuade works. You got an 8.
I'm able to forge in front of him and provide it to him.
A 9 works as well, so you both do it. Everything appears to be in order. You've parental permission, guardian signatures. My friends. And it's almost like a Willy Wonka moment. He goes, I allow you access to the information superhighway. Come with me, and you'll be
Hair goes blown
traveling
back.
at 14.4
Scarf.
baud per second. It's really slow, and you'll see on your AOL CD. All right. Oh, they have 24.4 baud modem. And man, I was thinking we're on Gopher protocols. But, all right. My nerd is showing. So he allows you into Floppy Joe's. And you're allowed to search on the computers for these rituals as well.
I feel like we go into like lawnmower man status where we're like,
you come to the computer, it's like, it's a Unix system. I know this. It's like Jurassic Park. Everything's 3D.
Hekate's got her crystal out. And she's kind of like doing a whole purification thing with the computers, and she sets it down on top of the CRT.
Oh yeah, so
it's a protection from those virus things.
Yeah, you start to do it, and like Joe appears behind you, and he just kind of looks down and kind of straightens his vest, underneath his blazer, and then he just goes, yes, it makes the bits move faster. And, it's kind of almost like the Willy Wonka boat ride now. Is like you're traveling faster down the information superhighway. Now, what sort of information do you want to discern from this? There's no telling where we're browsing.
I'm trying to
you've been arousing.
I'm trying to figure out what the goat head might be used for. Like what kind of spell, what kind of ritual spell.
All right. So I'm going to want you, you come to a website, but it's password protected. I'm just asking you an obscure Gothic question. This question involves a spell. So you do have a spell caster, but in order for her to help you on your roll, she would have to use an embarrassing trait.
Oh.
Well, I think I'm sorry. So chat. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, so I think just as she's getting ready to do the ritual to help the spell information is when her pager goes off. And everything, she's just like stopped, closes her eyes, just like, I have to call my mom. Sir, do you have a payphone?
All right. I want you to make a roll against him because you say it's from your mom. But essentially, this roll will determine whether or not your good friend Hemlock just texted you 143 on the pager. The pager code for I love you.
Yes, I remember.
All right, so this is going to be
loud. Oops.
Yes.
All right, so just a straight up roll.
Yes.
Oh no. Crap. Do I have? Persuade. It would persuade help me in on this.
I'll let it fly.
Okay.
$11.
So close. So close.
My child, my son. He told me his only love was books. As he takes the pager from you, and he holds it, and he starts to walk off. Now, this adds a roll to Ken, because you're using your embarrassing trait, and you're just like, no, I shall have to have a word with him. I have not yet explained to him the subject of birds and bees. And this is a subject where I fear to use the information superhighway, for they don't always portray it.
We've been night-clad.
He just kind of looks away wistfully, and it like goes into a dream sequence. Now, I'd like Ken to make a roll with a +3 bonus to get past.
I got a 10.
All right, you got a 10, and it's going to roll against you. The 11.
Ooh, brutal.
You're blocked, but this is going to be one of those fail forward things where you get you start to think through this. You're like, oh my gosh.
I feel like, if I may, I'm melding with the computer too closely, and it's about to suck away all my like creativity to create my shows and the music and everything that goes into it. I'm like melding too completely with it, and I almost see what the answer that I'm looking for, but I just can't make it out, and I pull back to save myself, and that's basically it.
Here's what I would say too. Gosh, I had a thought that went with this. You find the spell, but it's on like an anti-witchcraft website.
Oh,
right, yeah. So it's kind of like
that's not my jam. I hate that shit.
So it's just kind of like, if there's a spell, go to the Roman thaumaturgy, and it's like it's got a mocking cartoon and everything. It's just really offensive, and it's one of those things where, Joe turns around and sees it. He like snaps out of his son. And he goes, "Huh! No!
Oh,
We got to be sensitive to Gothic culture and all religions, magic, and witchcraft in mind. Why are you pulling this up, Tiger? Hemlock's always spoken very highly of you."
And I say, hey man, this isn't what I'm into. This is what your neighbors might be into.
Which ones?
And I say, I don't know. Some crazy shit. I'm all for witchcraft. So I'm sorry, but I gotta go, I guess.
All right, but I hope to see you at Drum Circle, which is non-religious, but a time of fellowship and gathering. As he straightens his vest again, and all right, is there anything else we want to play out in this scene?
I think Hecate is going to, just for fun, if you'll allow her, is going to possess one of the have one of the computers end up possessed.
Ooh, yeah, let's do that. This is how you get max headroom. You're muted.
Because I do this every day on the internet. It's a haunt +2 where I can imbue a person, place, or object with a spooky presence.
Yeah, we'll see if the anti-haunting software keeps it out. 11. Thank you, Eric Volgaris.
Totally paying back the...
Actually, no. It's not a conflicted roll. You don't need to roll. It's automatic.
Okay.
Here's why. He prefers these systems be haunted. It is, in fact, the antivirus software we want.
Oh, yes.
Haunted systems, ghosts of the machine.
Ghosts of the machine. Yes, he's like...
Deus Ex.
Yeah, and he like peers very close. He's like, "For behold, sentience will be born within them. Ghosts of the machine. Let there be 3 laws of Rogothics." And like, the 3 laws of Rogothics take place, and years from now, Will Smith will portray Joseph in the film adaptation.
So moted be Deus ex machina.
And so it goes. Now, we are missing one of our players. Garcindus isn't here. But let's... I think we can either do a scene in a passageway. What we might rule is Garcindus is in... is there any store you would like to be at, Gulvira? Or would you like to talk with someone in the passageway for the meanwhile?
I don't know. I feel weird. Maybe I could have a scene with the Mulgoths in some capacity.
Yeah, you can do that. You all can end up at the same store. Where would you all like to end up at?
Well, we are next door at the Cyber Cafe.
You see them. You see Mulgoths in the Cyber Cafe. You can mingle in the hallway outside if you'd like.
I think I feel emboldened by the smoothie, and I walk up to them. And I put my goat smoothie down in front of them almost aggressively, and I sit. I have very conflicting... I'm a garbage teenager bisexual that doesn't know how she's feeling right now, so she just is... That's all expressing itself in aggression right now.
Right, then Garcindus descends from the merry-go-round. Your horse was the winner. No,
I say, is that a goat smoothie?
Yes, it's very good.
It tastes like goat?
What else would it taste like?
I don't know.
It has goat in it. Typically, when you put goat in things, it tastes like goat.
What is it, like sweet or spicy?
It's goaty.
I don't even know what that means.
It means it tastes of goat.
I would have thought it like had horns and a tail or something if something was goaty.
No, but would you like a horn?
What?
I have extras.
Feeling horny, Gulvira?
I don't understand.
There's a skee ball tournament today. You want to play some skee ball?
I'm not familiar, but I'm willing to try.
Wolfie has apparently been standing directly behind Gulvira this entire time, but standing perfectly motionless, so you just thought she was a pillar there in the mall. And she just goes, I have never lost a game of skee ball, and you must let me know where this competition is so that I might win and bring honor to my family.
No, but you really should stop wearing that fur thing. You're getting hair in the smoothies.
Yes, and she just removes it and is nude. No. It's just one of those things. Give the players what they want. If they say yes, and just go right to it. No. She just goes, I cannot remove it. I have promised my father, as he lay bleeding in the snow after sacking Rome, that I would wear his ceremonial fur till my dying day, and I will not die this day. Will you die this day?
Wasn't planning on it. Probably down or roll over, but wasn't planning on dying.
That's a good answer. If you had said yes, she would have stabbed you.
She would have tried.
No, she would have succeeded. She's very good at stabbing.
Garcindus, is that water on your face?
Yes, I splashed her with dirty water. Oh, I'm sorry. You should answer for yourself. She gets out of there.
Why did they even follow her?
What the fuck? What's up with that asshole threw water on your face?
A misunderstanding. Not every one of us follow the same principles.
Wolfie, you can hear her. No, okay, so I should have been clear. I forgot. Wolfie doesn't speak English. However, she knows just enough to be like, needed bath, and, walks away.
Look who's talking.
No, if anything, she ruined my hood, which you would know something about, wouldn't you, Tiger?
Yeah, I'm like sorry about that. Let me make it up to you. I can make you another like hoodie that could attach to your hood. What do you think about that?
I'm well, it's not like necessary is what you would say, but I'm not going to refuse if you wish reparations.
I use my once a day power to make a duct tape clothing item, so I can give someone a bonus on one of their skills as I make this item and attach it to the bone and sinew hood that Garcindus is already wearing. And I give you this duct tape clothing item like a hoodie that's sort of loose on you, but like can be any color you want.
That looks awful. I like it.
Akate's just staring daggers at Tiger.
And which skill do you want this to like add a bonus to?
Ooh, I think it would help me blend in, so I'll take it in persuade.
Cool.
Beautiful. I love my duct tape hoodie.
Yeah.
Cosplays this character at the next convention. We'll do
Heck
the
yeah.
live show. Bring everyone up to speed. So, we needed to move into a Visigoth scene. So this is just sort of a passageway. Scene is there a mall that or a store in the mall that the Visigoths would like to head to, or keep hanging out?
Quick question. Were we all aware from the beginning the reward for the statue?
Yes.
Okay. As we were walking the passageway, I would definitely try to get Galvira's attention about the bag of suspicious shape and size that Wolfie was guilty of having.
I think we are speaking in some sort of and not English. And oh, so you think that wasn't a real goat?
Oh no, she definitely made us a goat smoothie, but like the goat thing was not a real goat.
Oh, so we should steal it.
Back. Maybe.
Steal it for ourselves.
Yeah. Do you need the money? That doesn't seem...
Need the prestige of besting another runecaster.
Ooh.
You hear an announcement over the speakers, though. It's time for an announcement to come over, and it says... The skee ball social in the Darkade will begin in 7 minutes. And then you hear a voice saying, "Why are you just doing the music with your mouth? Shut up, don't speak." And then it cuts out.
I'll never understand that omniscient voice.
It's the one voice that's not the gods.
Sable becomes back. You doubt your faith.
It could be a minor god, right?
I think it is.
Our God
One of
is a
us
minor
mere-
god.
I think it is just a mere modern mortal who is utilizing dark magics.
You'd know all about those, wouldn't you? Go there.
Shut up, we're not speaking English.
I want this to be a conflict roll. And here's what I want. And that was a fight and a shut up. This is going to be... This is a conflict. There's a chance that Hecate knows enough Gothic language through her studies that she's picked up. It's kind of like me when I play poker with my Mexican uncles. Like, they're like, be very careful speaking around this gringo. He knows a lot of Spanish. And then Yeah. So let's do a conflict. Little goth on goth action.
I throw a stun rune at her.
Oh,
Aren't you both crushing on each other? Come on. Jeez.
Pocket stun rune.
Beautiful.
So if this is one of our relationships, that doesn't add anything to the roll, correct?
I don't think so now.
Okay.
But a friend can use an embarrassing trait to give you an advantage.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I will give my good friend, of course, Hecate, a advantage as I'm like in front of Garcendis and whatever. There's something happening, and I'm like, ah, like that for a second. That's like my voice.
Oh no, the voice cracks. I hope you like the sweater.
Exactly.
It really brings out your eyes.
And I will give my friend Hecate a bonus.
Am I able to throw a stun rune at her?
It's made of gorilla tape. You can, like fictionally, you can throw a stone at her.
Stun rune.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stun her. Like, this isn't physical
But
damage.
it
You don't
gives
hurt her
me-
feelings. Yeah, what's it do?
But it's +3.
Yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
So the embarrassing gives my roll a +3. Oh yeah, I'm done. That's it. I lost.
The rune like explodes before it hits your face, but then it just like swirls into like glittering words that say "shut up" in front of you, and it's just stunning.
Kate just kind of looks at Calvera.
She's gone.
She looks
She's
for
absconded.
She looks for Garcendis, and she's absolutely just mortified and embarrassed that this just happened. And she's still kind of upset with Tiger for giving this gift to the one person she's crushing on. And she's just mortified.
You're muted.
Excessive? That seemed so excessive. Am I muted?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay. No. I'm looking over at Galvira and be like, rune throwing? You resort to rune throwing?
She's just always so mean to me, and I don't know why.
We have differences. There's a lot going on over here, and I just oat, Gary, Ed, hey, we gonna get it.
I have no idea what you're saying,
I know,
but I think we should proceed with our previous plan.
Yeah, thieveries. Wait, weren't you supposed to go throw balls of the rolling variety somewhere?
All right, right about then, you notice that there's about 46 different gerbils running out the front of gerbil essences. Like, they're loose! They're loose! Somebody get them! The gerbils! Somebody must get the gerbils! The gerbils!
We need to destroy them?
I want to slip back into Levin Theodosius's.
I'm going to try and steady Hecate as she is stunned. And we'll try and sort of take out her wand, I guess, to see what's going on with that thing.
Ooh.
So you want to try and take her wand from her as she's embarrassed?
I don't know if I want to take it from her exactly, but I just want to examine it, yes.
As you pull it out, like, in your hand, like, the wand is kind of, like, moving like kelp underwater as you're holding it. Like, it kind of does the seaweed move. Kind of like the rubber pencil thing, except it's much more attractive than the rubber pencil. And it seems to be singing a very like a beautiful tone. Like a mermaid calling.
Yeah, definitely. I'm entranced for a second,
Where
but
the people go. Yes.
and then I try and place it in her hands and say, like, heal your mistress.
The wand itself. So the wand kind of speaks back to Hecate, and it's like, please, please take me back. He scares me a little.
Do.
But he really is nice.
Yeah. That's why we haven't named him yet.
Clean diet.
It's weird. But he knows some great makeup tricks.
Right, so there's this like neon green mohawked child, not child. They're like
16-year-old.
running around. Yeah, they're trying to net all these gerbils, and they're just like, no. Maybe if I get the giant ball, and like this giant hamster ball comes rolling out, they're like, maybe we can lure them in with their favorite.
And Hecate is wearing those really big, heavy black platform boots with the buckles that go all the way up to the knee. And she's trying to step carefully as she's still not really focusing properly on what's going on around her, not to step on the gerbils as she's... So it's kind of a balancing act, literally. Tiptoeing through the gerbils.
Okay, so we'll put a cap on that. So which door were the Visigoths headed to?
I assume, yeah, we're totally going back to the lemon place, smoothie place.
You're headed
right?
back to the lemon place. So is that where you were intending to go, Kika, as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're back at Lemon Theodosius, and Wolfie's there. And she's at the counter. She's like, you two, what brings you back? Weren't you full? Have you finished the dark nectar? She says as she looks at Garcindus.
You would know if I'd finished it or not.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I'm surprised
No,
that there's
I'm fairly
this much.
aloof.
I'm surprised that there is this much tension between the two of you. Garcindus had nothing but good things to say about you, Wolfie, as we came here.
They speak out of both sides of their mouth.
Well, you did insult my stature as a runecaster, so I thought I would like to display my powers to you.
I don't have money to pay you
Why would I be asking for money?
because you're putting on a show.
You're very rude today.
Mm-hmm. Some days are hard, she says.
Like a statue.
Why
No,
is
those
today-
are actually quite delicate, she says, and she picks up the black goat-shaped bag, and she opens it, and she pulls out the black and red tiled goat statue. She goes, these aren't that hard. In fact, they taste delicious. And she's like peeling off these like bathroom tiles, and she takes a bite out of
Do
one.
we see that? Do we see that?
Oh, allow me to try. And I want
You're
to.
the best.
I want to go over to it, slap it in an invisibility, make invisible rune on